Hey peeps! Guess what today is? Motivational Monday. You know how I love Motivational Monday. And guess what? Thanksgiving is over with. Yay! Yay! Too many people. Too many people. Full day of cooking. I think I started cooking at 7 a.m. I think we ate at 2 p.m. and at 10:30 p.m. still cleaning up. Why do we do that, guys? Why is it so important? Why is it so important? Because it's the one time a year where everyone tends to want to get together. Like there's many different times throughout the entire year where as families we can all get together, but nobody makes it a priority. Nobody thinks it's that important. Like, let's just pick a day. June 3rd. Hey, let's all get together on June 3rd. First question is going to be asked, why? What's the importance of June 3rd? Oh, I don't know. I just thought it would be a great day for all of us just to get together. Nope, I'm on vacation. Nope, I'm busy doing this. Nope, my kids are off at camp. Nope. But for some reason, when Thanksgiving falls, everyone somehow manages to rearrange their schedules to get together. Which I'm not complaining because it happens far and few between in this household. And you're wondering, why do we have eggs out? Why do we have... So, stopping right there with that, we are, you know what happens when you have leftover turkey? Yeah, Teresa Romer's famous turkey and noodles. I call them chicken and noodles, but I always do it with turkey. I don't know if I've ever done it with chicken. I'm trying to think if I've ever done it with chicken.
I think so. You've done it with chicken.
I've always done it with turkey because it's always when I have leftover turkey. So it's always been turkey and noodles, but I always call them Teresa's homemade chicken and noodles. But anyways, some of you have been following me long enough that you know my recipe. You know that every Thanksgiving I have leftover turkey and I do my famous chicken and noodles, turkey noodles. And so I said, wait, it's the Monday after Thanksgiving. It's time to do the famous Teresa Romer noodles. Yes, so as y'all know, I don't buy my noodles. I make them from scratch. So we start with eggs. And you know what? We have fresh, straight from the hen house eggs. Yes. And you're gonna notice how much better, I mean, like, can you guys see? Can you guys really see how incredibly bright orange those yolks are? That's called a fresh from the hen house egg. And y'all like, oh, there's no difference. Oh yeah, there is. Oh yeah, there is. But there's a huge difference between store-bought eggs and fresh chicken eggs. Little known fact, do you know that a fresh chicken egg can literally set out on your counter for up to 3 weeks without having to be refrigerated? Because they come out with a natural protective layer on them, which keeps them fresh. Now after 3 weeks, then you should put them in the refrigerator so that they last even longer. But I'm telling you what, if you've never had a fresh chicken egg, you are in for something because the taste is phenomenal. Every 2 weeks, we do hard-boiled eggs so that we have fresh hard-boiled eggs. The taste, so rich, so yummy. So anyways, we are gonna beat the heck out of these eggs so that we can get them nice and fluffy. And while I'm beating them, I'm going to add some salt. I'm gonna do some pink Himalayan salt. So much better for you. Don't need a lot. This one's almost empty anyways. I like everything to be as good and healthy as possible. Motivational Monday. Just got through Thanksgiving. House full of family, house full of guests, house full of friends. Doesn't matter. Just as long as you're spending it with people you want to spend time with. Let me see if I have a whisk. Let me see. Of course, it won't be in here. It'll probably be in the catering kitchen. Oh no. Yeah. Let's get to the whisking. I think a whisk is supposed to make the eggs fluffy, even fluffier. Which in turn hopefully makes my noodles fluffy, fatter. So some of you probably want to know my recipe. As I've said in the past, I don't really have a recipe. I kind of just put it together as I put it together. So basically today I'm using 10 eggs. I've used probably a couple pinches of salt, I'd say. And then I'm going to use some all-purpose flour. Now, in the past, I have tried almond flour, coconut flour, you name it, all kinds of different healthier flours. And the noodles just don't come out the same. They come out flatter, they come out weirder tasting. It's just not a good, yummy noodle. That's all I got to say. So from experience, I've tried different flours to try to even make them healthier, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to use some all-purpose flour, and we are going to mix all-purpose flour in with these eggs. And then people are like, well, how much flour? Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just add flour until the dough becomes extremely stiff to where it's able to be rolled out on this countertop. So here's a news flash for you. How many of you understand that rejection breeds obsession? You don't know what that means? How many of you, I'm guilty of this, hands down. How many of you have been rejected or kind of told that you can't do something or you can't have something, and then you become obsessed with it? Like if somebody tells me, like when somebody told me I couldn't climb Mount Kilimanjaro, I became obsessed with proving to them that I could. Or here's another one. What if you're supposed to start a diet and you're supposed to reject all those yummy foods? You literally become obsessed with, oh my God, I can't have it. I want it so bad. You know what? On any other given day, you probably don't want it. And you don't even think about having it. But because now you can't have it, you want it even worse. You become obsessed with it. Or how many of you have ever had some guy reject you and then you become obsessed with them? Like, you're going to like me. Come hell or high water, you're going to like me. You're going to fall in love with me, God damn it. Why won't you fall in love with me? Like everybody falls in love with me. How many been guilty of that a few times in my past? So obsessed that they start dating someone else and you want to go follow them around. You want to go check out their social media sites. You're like, why does he like her instead of me? I'm so much better than her. Yeah. Rejection breeds obsession. We've all been guilty of it, but you're asking, how do we get past that? How do we move on from it? Well, easier said than done, but it's as easy as getting it in your head when someone rejects you. You know what? There's someone better just around the corner for me. There really is. But at the time, you can't think that way. At the time, you're just so obsessed with that person that you don't understand why they could possibly like someone else instead of you. It's a hard lesson. It's one that many of people in this world have cried over, lost sleep over. But there is a way to move past it. There really is. Okay, so I've added so much flour. So I'm gonna now dump it out. So you want your flour, you want your egg mixture to be very stiff. Because remember, we've got to get this rolled out. So I literally like to take it out and start kneading it and adding more flour on the countertop. Remember, you don't want it to be super sticky because your rolling pin will stick to it. So I just do it a certain way. But anyways, back to Motivational Monday, guys. So you're trying to say, well, how do I fix this problem though, Teresa? Like, how do I fix this obsession that I have? Like, especially when it comes to relationship, guys, because you know what? The problem is we all have this need and desire to be loved and to be with someone. But I have to tell you, some of my happiest moments in life happened to be when I was just trying to purposely stay single and work on myself. So back in the day, this was before internet was such a huge deal. But back in the day, and that's probably why I have so many self-help books upstairs, I made it a goal to better myself because I kept finding that I seemed to attract the same kind of guys. And I felt like finally, you know what? I don't think it's the guys. I mean, like, yeah, they have their problems. But if I'm attracting the same kind of guy, there's a problem with me. Maybe I need to take a really good look at me and figure out how I can better myself so that I don't keep attracting the same kind of guy. Because that kind of guy was not healthy for me. There's nothing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those guys, they just weren't good for me. Have you ever noticed sometimes in a relationship, it's like you're mixing oil and water, and oil and water don't mix together very well. And that is literally how some of my relationships were. And they weren't healthy. And it didn't matter. No matter how much I loved that guy or deeply cared for that guy, it was just never gonna work. And I can remember there was one guy, his name was Brian. I mean, I thought he was my soul mate. And maybe he really was. But we were like fire and water. Or oil and water. I mean, like, no matter how hard we tried to make it work, it was just never going to be a healthy relationship. So sometimes I just really recommend to people, as much as it hurts, sometimes we really do just need to spend some time alone and not sit alone, not spend it alone and just be miserable, but spend that time alone bettering yourself, reading articles. Because guys, you got to remember, knowledge is a powerful thing. Knowledge is a powerful thing. And the only way you gain knowledge is by learning. Knowledge just ain't going to come jump on your head one day and go, oh, here I am. I know you've been looking for me. You have to search it out. You have to do the research. You have to get the books or the material or whatever it takes. It's just like getting a college education. In order for you to get a college education, you got to put in the work. College education just doesn't come dump itself on your lap and go, here I am. What are you going to do with me? You've got to put in the work. You've got to know, you've got to desire that you want to be something different and something better in life. Okay, so we have literally been making it to where it's rollable now. We're going to take a rolling pin, kind of get some flour on it, and now we're going to start rolling it out. I know, this is weird. I even went to the point a while back of ordering a noodle cutter. I've never used it. I don't have any desire to use it. I'm like, I like doing this. I really do. I think there's something very fulfilling to be able to make my own noodle mixture and roll it out and let it dry and cut it and make my own noodles versus a machine. But I was like, oh look, I can actually buy a machine that does it for me. And then I was like, why? Why do I want a machine to do this? I want to do it. So there's a little bit of noodles rolled out there, and then I'm going to do another little section over here. So guys, I just wanted to touch base and talk to you today about obsession and how rejection breeds it. And so many people are unaware of it. Actually, I don't want to put that. So, I probably have flour all over my face. So, this is basically how we do it. So, I've rolled out 2 areas of noodles. It doesn't have to be pretty. This has nothing to do with how your noodles are going to turn out. Pretty does not make good noodles. You just roll it out. So now I'm going to let this lay here and dry for a couple hours. Then in a couple hours, after they start getting somewhat dry, I'm going to come in and cut. So then we're going to cut our noodles, and then we're going to let them sit there for another couple hours and dry, cut. So that when we go to stick them in the pan with the turkey juice and turkey, and that all comes to a boil, we'll throw the noodles in, they'll cook. And after about an hour of cooking, they'll be nice and thick and juicy. And unfortunately, this video is going to go up before the noodles are done. So you'll get to see the finished product on Wednesday for Wacky Wednesday, because we will then show them done and us eating them. But unfortunately, this video will go up and be live before that happens. So anyways, I just wanted to touch base with talking about rejection and obsession. And you know, someone asked me a long time ago when I was much younger how I dealt with rejection so easy, and I was like, this is how I always thought about it. Back in the day, I used to go with my girlfriends to I call it a local tavern, kind of local bar, and I wouldn't really go to really drink. I really went to network, because on a certain night of the week, other business owners would be there also. And I knew from 6 to 8 that if I showed up there, and even if I just had one cocktail or no cocktail, I could literally network with other business owners for that couple hours. And so it was very vital to me back then, because back then we didn't have social media. So there was no way to connect and collaborate unless you met with people in person. But it was very important for me to go and network with people, because that is how I felt like it helped me grow and learn. Because remember, I've always said to guys, if you are the smartest if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get the hell out and go into a room where you're the dumbest person. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're never going to learn anything. But if you're the dumbest person in the room, or maybe not quite the dumbest, you're going to be like a sponge and learn so much from so many other people. And to this day, that's why I love collaborating, because I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. I think I know a lot, but I don't know it all. And so I love getting around other people where I am so intellectually stimulated that I just don't want to leave. Like, I want to stay there and keep talking to them and keep talking to them and keep talking to them, because they share so much of their knowledge with me, as I also share my knowledge with them. So I just think it's so important to just surround yourself with like-minded people, and even people that are smarter than you. And like I said, when it came to rejection, I started looking at it this way. If I was in this tavern and I wanted to dance, and I asked some guy to dance and he turned me down, I wouldn't be heartbroken. I don't care if he was the best looking guy in the whole bar. I would look at him and go, oh, so sorry, you're lost. And I'd move on. And I tell you what, that made a lasting impact with a lot of different men, because as I walked away from them, they started to think, well, who the hell does she think she is? I'm the best guy in here, or I'm the richest guy in here, or I'm the most of something. And why is she walking away after I turned her down, like happy? That's because, guys, there's so many fish in the sea. If you had to realize how many eligible people are out there that you can connect with, don't ever, I think one of my dogs is having a bad dream, don't ever look at someone turning you down as rejection. Just look at them and go, you're lost, bye-bye. So instead of you walking away unhappy and hurt or feeling rejected, you actually just turned the table on them. And now they're wondering why, oh Lord, most women when I reject them are butthurt, but she actually seemed happy. Food for thought, food for thought. So anyways, guys, we're going to capture in a couple hours me cutting these. But like I said, you're not gonna get to see the final result until Wacky Wednesday, because we won't have these dried and cooked in time for you guys for this video. But I did want to come on here and talk to you today while I was making them. We have literally let this dry for a couple hours now. So now, because I don't want to scratch or mark up my beautiful countertops, what we need to cut, we are going to be using plastic knives. So basically, Carolina is helping, and we're literally just tearing them apart, and we're going to let everything just lay here and dry for another couple hours. Like I said, you guys are not going to get to see the finished product or see us eat it or any of that kind of stuff until Wednesday's video, because by the time you see this video tonight, we won't be cooking or eating this yet. So it's a little hard, especially when you're trying to film same day. It's a little hard to film same day and be able to show you the finished product. So normally, and it doesn't matter if they kind of come apart in pieces or if they stay nice and long, it doesn't matter, because noodles are noodles. Noodles are not perfect. The ones you see in the store are, because they're processed. They're not real. So I'm going to take a spatula. And that way I can literally pull them off one by one. Well, kind of. Anyways, this is how we cut them. I know, like I said, I even went and bought a machine that's supposed to, you're supposed to be able to stick the dough in the machine and it'll cut it for you, but I don't do it. I don't do it. I do it with a little knife. I like doing things the hard way sometimes. It's like more fun. Right, Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
How many years have you been doing this with me?
How many years?
9?
Yeah, last Sunday, 9 years.
So this is not
November 19th?
this is not Carolina's first time of cutting noodles with me. We do it a lot. And actually, I could let these dry maybe even another hour so that they would come off a little better. But I'm not picky. I really don't care how the noodles turn out. But what will be fun is what you guys get to see here on Wacky Wednesday, because you'll get to see the final thing, the final noodles, and you'll see once you see them in the pan, they'll look great. So, there you go. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your Motivational Monday video. I hope you understood what I was trying to get at today. And until Wednesday, bye-bye.